Welcome back everyone. I've been making a couple of these videos on why certain older iPhones may actually be better in some areas than the newer ones. Now I will tell you 100% of the fact that if you have all the money in the world, then obviously getting the iPhone 12 is probably the better way to go, but there are still some advantages and some things that the iPhone 10 really shines at where the iPhone 12 doesn't really do so well. And the very first thing that I have to get out of the way, it's the first thing that I always say for all these phones, is the price tag. The iPhone 12 brand new is more than its predecessor, which is the iPhone 11, which was selling for $699, which was a great price tag for that phone. The iPhone 12 right now costs $829, which is an insane amount to pay for a phone that's kind of like the budget phone of that year. And I think that's pretty crazy. Obviously, the iPhone 12 has a lot going for it, but the iPhone 10 in a lot of ways and in a lot of areas can be sold for about $300-ish, about $350. I've even seen some cases where it's cheaper than that. And the longer you wait, the cheaper this thing's going to be getting. And I would imagine by the time the iPhone 12 is a year old and gets replaced with the iPhone 13, the iPhone 10 is probably going to be under $300 in some places. Who knows, So the price tag of that phone is crazy, and it's less than half of the price of the iPhone 12 in the used market. And it's not half the phone. It's not even that bad of a phone in general, but even compared to the iPhone 12, it's really not that far behind. And definitely in terms of the price tag, the iPhone 10 is a far better deal than the iPhone 12, 100% for sure. Now the second thing, which is actually very, very interesting, and it was just recently kind of updated in a way, is the jailbreak capability that you have on the iPhone 10 right now that you don't have on any iPhone 12 currently. And maybe in the future it'll go ahead and be added, but with the iPhone 10, whether you're into jailbreaking or not, at least you have that capability of jailbreaking on a phone like the iPhone 10, and that is something that's super impressive. Now when you have a phone like the iPhone 10, it pretty much can do the same things that the iPhone 12 can do, the gesture-based design and everything, but you have all the access to all those different jailbreak tweaks and all those things. And like I said before, if you've never jailbroken your phone, it is a really cool thing. The iPhone 10 is now supported under that checkra jailbreak on iOS 14, so you can jailbreak any version of that phone, and that's a huge asset. I've made tons of thousands of videos, and some of them were about jailbreaks and how some older iPhones perform on a jailbreak, and like I said before, that's a huge thing about the iPhone 10 for sure. Now the next thing is very interesting too, in my opinion. The build quality may actually be better on the iPhone 10 than on the iPhone 12. So they both kind of look the same on the front. Obviously the iPhone 12 has the flat sides, but kind of taking that out of the equation, because some people like it, some people don't, you actually have the stainless steel side on the iPhone 10 where you have that aluminum chassis, pretty much the same thing as the iPhone 6s Plus on the iPhone 12. And I think that's kind of an interesting dynamic, because the iPhone 10 in some areas kind of feels a little bit more premium than the iPhone 12, especially when you're holding it in your hand without a case. Now if it's not a big deal to you, then that's totally okay, but that's still very interesting that an older phone like the iPhone 10 can kind of shine in a place where it's not really meant to shine in. That phone came out in 2017, and it should have been, worse feeling than a phone that just came out. And that's not necessarily the case in my opinion. So it is what it is, but I'll probably tell you that the iPhone 10 to some people may actually feel better in the hand, and the build quality may be better than the iPhone 12. Now the next thing is kind of like a con for the iPhone 10, but it's still very important for me to kind of hit on it, and that's kind of the performance. So the iPhone 10 is for sure, I think, a little bit slower than the iPhone 12, that's for certain, but it's not really by much. And as long as you're not comparing the phone to the iPhone 12, then it's really not that big of a performance decrease. You are getting an extra gig of RAM on the iPhone 12, which is huge, and I love that, but the iPhone 12 is still having RAM management issues. I don't know why that's still happening on that phone. It's like these phones have evolutionized too much for these type of issues to still be had. But the reason I bring up the performance, because it's kind of like a con for the 10, is because of the price per performance. It's still in the favor of the iPhone 10. For every dollar that you're spending on performance, you're getting kind of a better performing phone from the iPhone 10, from my experience, than the iPhone 12. So it's not even like you have a way worse performing phone or anything like that. Even on iOS 14, the performance is still pretty good on the iPhone 10, even though the iPhone 12 is better. The iPhone 10 costs way less, and that's kind of why I kind of appreciate the performance on that phone. But like I said, if you jailbreak your device, there's some tweaks in which you can actually make it kind of faster in some areas. Now the last couple things are things that are pretty much similar on both. They both have IP certification, they both have beautiful OLED screens on the front of them, and they both have wireless charging on both as well. And that's very, very important. There's nothing that you're really missing out on besides software experience and software lifecycle, that there's a pressing reason for you to go from an iPhone 10 to the iPhone 12. I did a camera comparison between these things too, and definitely the iPhone 12 was better, but again, like the iPhone 10 is still all around a well-rounded phone for sure. And like I said before, I don't think I would go from an iPhone 10 to the iPhone 12. I feel like that phone is still really good, and these are just some areas on why I think the iPhone 10 may actually be a better device than the iPhone 12. So that really pretty much covers it up. If you guys have any other questions or anything like that, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. Every single subscriber that we get really does count, so it means so much if you guys could hit that. Also check out the other links down in the description as well. My Twitter, my Instagram, my other channels. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.